We are so grateful to God. We are the Morticians and Allied Professional Association of Kenya. We are the end-of-life caregivers, as we call ourselves, but we are Morticians. This conference is made by Morticians purely for Morticians.
The conference, the three-day stay has been well. The numbers, the Mortician really turned up because there is that they saw the need of coming so that they can learn more.
Otherwise, I would really thank the conference facilitators in general, because they've actually taught us a lot.
My name is Albert Jero, General Secretary, Kenya Union of Domestic Hotels, Education Institutions, Hospitals and Allied Workers, that includes universities, TVETs, churches, and clubs. The union represents people who are supposed to be vulnerable in terms of managing, in terms of the difference between employer and employee, and in terms of voluntary employees, that is informal sector. We represent informal sector, and that's why we are here today, because we believe Morticians and other people who have got self-employment are a part and parcel of the community, are part and parcel of employees who needs much more of social protection, from human rights to labor rights and to any other constitutional rights within the country. Morticians have a big law to this country and the world across. So coming together, somebody has said that he has never heard Morticians coming together. This is the beginning. This is what? This is the beginning of having a voice together. Togetherness begets solidarity, and solidarity begets a better welfare. When we are talking about our welfare, we are not talking about only we are expecting to retire. No! It's because it's that now. And this now is where we are working. What would happen if we were working and we are not being paid? Whether voluntary, whether we are getting paid, we need to look ourselves and say, this is where I'm working, this is what I need. I need a better terms and conditions of service.
Mimi naitwa Peter Kiama, the Executive Director of Independent Medical Legal Unit. Myself and Rosrin represent an organization that has been in existence for the last 29 years. An organization born out of want, of a need, especially to fill the gaps in the criminal justice system with regard to investigations. In those 29 years, we have relied a lot on the work of Morticians across the country in private and public mortuaries, either directly or indirectly, formally or informally. Many times, we have received calls in the middle of the night, and the calls are interesting from Morticians who know our work and who have our contacts. And that's why we'll give you a toll-free number that you can call for free and give us information. Sometimes we get calls saying, hello, kuna kesi yenu hapa kwa mortuary. Or, hello, kuna mtu wenu hapa. So that's the kind of calls we get. Mtu wenu meaning, because most of the times we deal with cases of persons who have died in the hands of government officials, especially law enforcement officers, the police, prisons, KWS, KFS, and others, KDF. then those of you that we have worked with for the last 29 years know mwili wetu ni gani ama mtu wetu ni gani, si ndio? So we don't get calls about road accidents, but we get calls about when they see signs of torture. For example, they call us and say, we have a body here that looks like this is not a natural death, you may want to come and investigate.
Good morning again. I'm Jen Wire from Government Chemists, Kisumu branch, and I'm also the head of toxicology section in that Kisumu branch, whereby we are mostly the consumers of the samples or the exhibits that you take from after the post-mortem process. We are the ones to take those samples and we do the analysis, and then we present it before the court for the dispensation of justice. So when you are crucial, because I may not come to the mortuary or whatever place that you are doing the exercise, but I am the consumer of whatever sample that you extract from either the suspect or the victim for that case, so that we do the dispensation of justice.
Social protection is the enhancement of the capacity and opportunities for the poor and vulnerable to improve and sustain their livelihoods and welfare. That is to enable income earners and their dependents to maintain a reasonable level of income through decent work. Mark these words: decent work, access to affordable health care, that is decent work, affordable health care, social security, and social assistance. Nitawachekesha sana. During my inspection tours, nishaienda kwa ofisi ya mtu mkubwa sana, mtu mtajika kwa hii region, na nikapata ni mtu ana pressure. Na wakati nilienda alikuwa na deni kubwa. Na akaniangalia akaniuliza, kijana, hiyo pesa umekuja kuniuliza unajua inapatikanaje? Alinifungia kwa ofisi na akatoa bunduki. So nikamwambia, ile serikali nikupatie uwezo wa kubeba hii bunduki, ndimenituma nikuulize hizi pesa. Kwa hivyo ukinimaliza inajua niko hapa, na hiyo tena nitakuuliza kwa nini ukabehave hivi. Akarudi akashtuka akakaa chini. So unapata kama your case, saa zingine mmoja wetu anaenda kwa tajiri, anakuwa intimidated, anaogopa. Ukirudi hakuambia alikuwa intimidated na hana wisdom ya kurealize hauwezi beba mzigo organization. Mimi nikitoka kuna mwingine anaendelea. Nikishindwa mimi sio final. Simesikia nikiwaelezea hapa, kuna zile nitawaelezea juu ya NSSF, kuna zile wakubwa wangu ndio wanaweza sema authoritative, sio? Ikikushinda unasukuma mbele. So ukipata unafuatilia issue yako kwa ofisi yoyote, si NSSF peke yake, na unaona inagonga mwamba kwa huyo ofisa mwenye unajaribu, usiogope kuuliza mwingine zaidi ya yule, kwa sababu ndugu yangu nitakueleza pale penye ofisi yako ilikuwa kuna ofisi ya NSSF hiyo yenyewe. Rudi kwa hiyo ofisi, kama ulikuwa na deal na ofisa kama mimi, mwambie leo sitaki kudeal na wewe, leo shilinileta nataka kuongea na branch manager.
Nimefika hata kwa
Branch manager ako na capacity ya kuhandle hiyo tabia. Akishindwa kuna mtu anaitwa regional manager. Uliza regional manager, kama ni hapa Kisumu, ofisi ya regional manager ni hivi. Sasa usiende kwa nani? Usiende kwa branch manager. Ukienda kwa regional manager, huyo hashindwi kwa sababu ako na vifaa za kusamu hata usaidizi kutoka Nairobi. Ako na uwezo, yeye ndiye anasaini huyo tajiri kupelekwa kotini, kwa sababu sasa hapa atakuwa amevunja sheria.
Our colleagues have been taken to court. The rule of the thumb is that you only embalm a body when you have a burial permit in your hands. That means the responsibility is taken away from you as a mortician who has no ability to determine determine whether this body will undergo police investigation or not, neither are you able to determine the cause of death for this body. So when you have your burial permit in your hand, the responsibility rests with the person who issued the burial permit, so that you're not being crucified and taken to court for mistakes that are not your own. And it's unfortunate, like we are learning from Miles, that many of our facilities do not have refrigeration facilities. But then again, do you want to be the mortician who will take the fall for the failures of the county government? Because if your facility does not have refrigeration, obviously you can't have police cases. Values we hold as morticians will serve as the basis for ethical conduct. So that, for example, if we know as morticians, one of our key values or attitudes or attributes is honesty, then obviously, if we have ethical values, then it will be expected of us that we are honest. Besides us as a profession, we have family values, we have cultural values, we have societal values, and again, all this help to shape the ethical standards that are expected of an individual and also a person's morals.
According to the English dictionary, it's a sudden accident or a natural catastrophe that causes great damage or loss of life. And remember, here it's mass loss of life, not like of one person, senior. It's a whole mass. Sawa sawa. And it always causes a catastrophe. Simeona. Most of the time we deal with these cases when in Chiromo. Nana metoka Chiromo. Chiromo, sindio. So you normally know the amount of work that is involved. That is, if you are not organized, you might end up mishandling or mislabeling bodies. True or false? So what you do during that time is very, very important. Because remember, if you mishandle this body, if you mislabel the body, it goes to the wrong family, sindio. Then from there tunapeleka wapi? Kwa media, sindio. Then from the media tunaonekana ni kama sisi tunauzana organs. True or false? So let's say mkisimama mbele ya mtu anaona kama anatapinua. Yeah? You kweli ama ni uongo? Sindio? So we want to make our profession look even more professional. Sindio? Mtu akikuja mochari anasikia ni kama yuko Lee. Amjona Lee, mtu anakufa Elgeyo Marakwet, anapelekwa Lee kwanza ndio aflewe basi Elgeyo Marakwet. Kama mtu anakufa Kisumu, anapelekwa Lee, alafu watasema body will be ferried from Lee. Ni kama Kisumu hakuna private mortuaries. Is it true or false? Amjona hiyo? Body is thrown where? Then from Lee it's thrown back to Kisumu. So ensure that the body have been recorded in the admission book correctly, senior. Because unakumbuka this is mass, senior. So if you have identifications of those bodies, you just put them in the admission book. If you don't have, what do you use? Either the numbers you'll be coming with, unique numbers, or even tag numbers, senior. But make sure you have identified those bodies in at least in a particular way, senior. Now, after that, you give them a unique tag number to each body, senior. One body, one tag number, senior. Msipatiane two bodies, one tag number. Sivyo ndo mnafanya? And then kama ni body parts, each body part should be in each bag with separate tag numbers. Yeah. So on the day of postmortem, what is your role? One, at least you assist the pathologist in conducting postmortems. True or false? True. Senior. And then two, samples taken from the deceased, if not transported to the government chemist immediately, should be stored how? Appropriately, senior. Simambiwa mseke tuzingine kwa formally, hiyo nimesikia. Especially if they are supposed to be taken for toxicology. Because you end up introducing new chemicals to those specimens, and you end up losing the original chemical that was there, senior. Because toxicology is just looking for the unique chemical that is in that organ or fluid that caused could have caused death or could have caused could have interfered with the level of consciousness, sindio? Simona mtu akiekewa drugs wakati wanakunywa pombe, sindio? Alafu anaenda na correct. So that's a different charge. Yeah, because this was something that this person thought about and actually did the act. So those are two different charges.
We are so grateful to God. We are the Morticians and Allied Professional Association of Kenya. We are the end-of-life caregivers, as we call ourselves, but we are Morticians. This conference is made by Morticians purely for Morticians.
The conference, the three-day stay has been well. The numbers, the Mortician really turned up because there is that, so the need of coming so that they can learn more.
Otherwise, I would really thank the conference facilitators in general because they've actually taught us a lot.
By the way, how do your family members take you? How does your spouse take you? Hey, on the other side. Have you ever explained to them that one particular day I may be the person receiving your body? Have you ever thought about that? Oh, no, what we are saying as a trade union, it's high time we start appreciating and recognizing our environment area where we are working from. Oh, no, we also take saying it is the best time we can talk about our terms and conditions of service, not only when you are working, when you are exiting job. All I know is when you are also telling some other people we need a social protection in either when I'm retiring, either in NSSF or National Hospital Insurance Fund. I said yesterday, unless you are in the informal sector, one time you are going to be separated from employment. After that, what do you do next?
How many have found victims with gunshots per mortuary? All of you. What did you do? Police case. Alafu imeishia hapo. But uzuri tukikuja hivi na pia from this conference onwards, we will know how we will help these victims access justice. It's going to be your mother, it's going to be your father, it's going to be your sister. And imagine this family wanna bereave na hawapati justice. So we come in to help families and victims access justice. Sawa sawa. So mkipata hawa victims, nitawapea contact zangu. Hata nianze na hiyo kabla tuendelee. That is our major mandate, working with you people. And we are so happy as in that mmechukua hii fursa kufanya conference kama hii, and we will forever be a part of you guys because you and us, we are you. Without you, there is nothing we are doing. Sawa sawa. So ensure you have filled your names in the forms that in blue because we are going to create a network list, and we will also prepare training so that we train you guys on how to understand forensic documentation. You can also ask a pathologist, have you done this? So forensic documentation starts with you. Forensic might be a big word, but forensic is just you. So when you are with a pathologist, and we have already trained you as IMLU what to check, what to do, I'm sure you'll be able to ask, have you done this?
you are the one who will help our clients access justice.
So, unique referencing. Usually each morgue, I'm sure, has a way they reference, but I believe as Kenya, we should come with a standard, a norm, whereby we know that this code near hemorrhage. And those are things that can be worked on, as we spoke yesterday, to have standard operating procedures, such that hata hii body watu wao wakisema tunataka kutoa hii mwili tupeleke kwa hii mochari, tunajua tu hii body ilitoka kwa mochari yenye code yake ni hii, imekuja kwa hii, and the code does not change, such that we can receive the code remains the same, so that in terms of investigation, wewe mweneleletwa body wa pili, unajua unaweza jipata haujui nini ilitendeka prior to the body being received, so when we have this unique reference that is standardized, it will help us understand how we can help our victims.
And remember, this was a private residence. It was a traumatizing experience, but indeed they did come. They took photos, did the forensics, and we proceeded to the morgue. Now, one thing that I came to realize is that when we went to the morgue, my brother had a gold chain on his neck and on his finger, the marital ring. Owing to the shock, we didn't notice until the following day, after 2 days, because we were told now, once we transfer the body to the morgue, again you have to wait until the government pathologist and the police come to do the postmortem. So at the day when we came to do postmortem is when the mortuary attendant called me aside and told me, I know you came in a hurry, you are confused, but I want to tell you that your brother had a gold chain on his neck and a ring. And I salute that mortician, because those who are good taxi would have met by selling those two items. So can I say, you serve in an environment of trust, and with that, I then take it for granted, continue the good work. The other thing that I mentioned is I had you raise issue that you have challenges on identification of bodies. At NHIF, we have undergone digital transformation, and I think apart from the Huduma number, we are the largest custodian of biometrics. What am I communicating? In future, let us see how we can leverage on technologies to identify bodies. If somebody has come is dead and he doesn't have any documentation on him, we can explore ways whereby either we give you a service point, you put that finger and what I don't know whether dead bodies bios can be read, but I believe they can be read. Because even unconscious bodies were still advised. I know instances whereby we have admitted patients who came in unconscious, but through biometrics we are able to do what? And our system is versatile and agile. Because if you are identified through the BIOS, we can get your next of kin, your wife, we can get your cell phone number, your wife's cell phone numbers, we have access to the repository whereby you've been seeking previous treatment. Through digital technology, we can be able to resolve this elephant in the room of identification of bodies.
A lot of exposure. Unajua sasa vile tunaletewa tu mwili na hatuambii hiyo mwili imekufa kwa sababu gani. And you know, sometimes even in medicine, we realize that there is a problem when so many people die. That is the time we realize, apana, 10 people died in this district, other people have died here, then we say, no, there must be a problem why people are dying. But when those people die, where are they taken? They are taken to the mortuary. Are you told, you're not. So you see, you are at a higher risk than the other people. If you look at even the way people were donning and doffing in the isolation wards during COVID, unapata mtu amevaa kila kitu, lakini Morticians wanambalisha hivyo sasa hivi pamoja. Hapana, sivyo? Unapata kwa clinical area hautakosa gloves, hautakosa hazmat suit, hautakosa sanitizer, sabuni, maji, lakini ukienda kwa mochari unapata hakuna, sivyo? So, and that is why it is very, very important for us as professionals to take our profession very, very serious and make sure that all those things that are provided for in the clinical area are also provided for in the mortuary. The same training. The nurses, the doctors, the lab technologists, the public health officers will undergo. It is the same training that you will undergo.
We at Precious would like to work with you in local business and especially international repatriations. We are well connected with the airlines who have trusted us to be their agents over time because we follow their standard guidelines strictly. We, however, have managed to satisfy our clients through offering a seamless flow from the mortuary to their final destination and at very reasonable prices. Our request to you is that if any of you have a client in need of our services, can call us from any part of the country and we will be willing to assist as much as possible. Considering that this is business, and we are inviting you to be our business partners.
That we are giving in cover, just this hospital, this is in mortuary. That we are giving in cover what we are kudhia wakikufa tunaweza peleka waburi. I'm just giving you an example. Because kama siwezi mayai siwezi kupatia offer ya machungwa. So we need to start thinking big so that by the time every other profession in the Ministry of Health is talking, kila mtu anakumbuka Morticians wako wapi? Wako kwa Ingereza. Kitangala amenipea uzuri, na hata nyinyi najua mmehuzunika hivi serious. That nurses and doctors are being trained on Ebola. They even go to an extent of training lab technologists. But yet, wakati Ebola itaanza, hiyo mbili itaandaliwa na nani? And yet nobody thought about Morticians being done what? During COVID, that was the case. Wakati tuliambiwa siri, we pushed through and we were taking these trainings. So even for the Ebola, after the conference, we will do the communication to the ministry, and I'm sure the trainings will commence.
We are so grateful to God. We are the Morticians and Allied Professional Association of Kenya. We are the end-of-life caregivers, as we call ourselves, but we are Morticians. This conference is made by Morticians purely for Morticians.
The conference, the three-day stay has been well. The numbers, the Mortician really turned up. Because there is that, so the need of coming so that they can learn more.
Otherwise, I would really thank the conference facilitators in general because they've actually taught us a lot.
Me, I'm very happy to associate with you as Morticians. I have learned a lot with you, and I have seen the tacit and the work you do. You need recognition. The society needs to change their mentality and recognize you as professionals, because the work you do, keeping data is not easy. Because the day after yesterday, I heard somebody saying, you are swapping data. Isn't it? When the situation becomes what? War, because you don't want to lose employment, isn't it? But now, since you have learned, I think you will comply with the provisions of the laws and take the mandate to assist us as community. So mine is this morning to welcome you and take keen and take chance. Utilize this time to get what you are being told by facilitators.
Sisi mortuary attendants, we were long forgotten. So at least we've gotten a body or a stepping stone, mali ya kujishikilia na foundation. We are so happy. Personally, I'm very, very happy. Because for a long time, tumekuwa tukisema tuwe attendants. We are nowhere to be seen. Thank you so much for recognizing us. And I believe we are moving ahead. Sky's the limit. Asanteni sana Budeya.
I'm a member of Budeya, almost 2 years old. But I've had some complaints because I've even never met the officials from Maseno University. So please, my request is, can you please organize the visitors one day? Because just from the walls, I hear complaints from the members. They're saying they never have AGMs, there's nothing that goes on, there are no elections, so they're just there. They don't understand what goes on in that Budeya.
Sisi kama mapake au Mortician hatujai pata mtu mwenye ametuchunga kama Budeya. Since tukweko tumeenda makonferensi zingine mbali, but hatujaona upendo kama huu kama members wa mapake. Kwa hivyo kupitia timu yako mkiongozwa na Ezekana kama chair na wengine, tunasema asanteni sana na muendelee na moyo huo.
Budeya is the way to protect ourselves. The office is the way to show us where we are going. Tuwapatie time na tuombe Mwenyezi Mungu.
Mambo ambayo tunajifundisha ni mambo ya muhimu sana. But kitu tutasema tu ni kimoja. Solidarity in any society, right away from the family, is very important.
If at any one time you feel your issues are not being handled well at the shop floor, at the industry level, it is very important that when you join and you know the office of your union, you will easily go to the office of the union and say, my matter is being handled at the industry level and I feel I am dissatisfied, I want your intervention. From there, the union will know what to do and pick up from there. Because if indeed there is unfairness, this is a matter that should escalate even up to the court level. And as long as you are a member of the union, you are not charged anything for taking the cases to court or through all those processes. And that is why members pay membership fees, which is always translated to as union dues. So when you hear someone asking, hii pesa ya chama inaenda kufanya kazi gani? Hiyo ndio inakuwa kazi ya hiyo pesa.
So at Tigeta, we are, that authority is a regulator of training. I know many of you have questions about training in your career. And as we had heard from other speakers, We all need to further our career through training, and that is what we advocate for. I'm the director in charge of standards development, compliance and enforcement. So we develop standards to guide institutions on areas of training, on how to train, and then we ensure compliance with those standards.
My name is Dr. Isaac Mason. I'm a lecturer and head of the Department of Human Anatomy, Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology in Kakamega, for those of you who may not know what it is. I want to first of all say thank you for recognizing us as a stakeholder during this conference. I want to register my appreciation to you. Masinde Muliro University started training doctors about 4 years ago. As we speak, our first cohort is in 4th year of training. So when we started as a school of medicine, we just set out as a trainer of doctors. But as a teaching institution, and more so a university, it's our responsibility to continuously scan the environment and come up with courses that are innovative to fit the demands of the market. So about 3 years down the line, we recognized a need in the environment, and the need was within this fraternity of morticians, mortuary attendants, or people working in the funeral homes. We recognized that they didn't really have a kind of career progression guidelines, for example, or training. People want to grow in their fields. So if one comes up with a program that ensures that people are certified, they go back to school to train and become better at what they do, and then present their new skills, for example, to their employer or ministry and ask for promotion, then chances are such a program will be taken up very well. And so a while ago, we came up with this program of certificates in mortuary science. We just examined our first lot of students, and we are hoping to release exam results very soon, so that eventually we can get to certify you. Maybe some of you are in this class. I think I've met 1 or 2 people.
How do you relate to other international bodies that work in the similar field that you do? Do you have a platform? Do you have ways of interacting? Many other associations, the Kenya Cardiology Association, Kenya Obstetrical and Gynecological Association, where I am, and so forth, we link up with international bodies, and the reason why we link up is also for skill transfer, knowledge exchange, challenging of the professional growth, and so forth. So I want to also challenge you to think about how best you can be able to interact with other international bodies. Of course, this conference provides an opportunity for us to interact and network. And so how do you know you've gained from these interactions? Do you have a tool to say that at the end of this conference, in the following year, this is what I was able to achieve as a result of me interacting with my colleagues from Mombasa, my colleagues from Kisumu, and so forth. So this networking is important because then it also gives a chance to the younger professionals who probably are struggling to get a job or attachment or internship position to be able to get some of these opportunities. So make this a useful venture that can also, of course, help the younger colleagues grow. The issue of setting of standards, I think this has been elaborated, and it's very important that we set our own standards of practice, both at the professional level, of course, through professional code of conduct, and this is very important, is needed, and of course, quality of service, so that we say for any place that trains mortuary science or any place that we practice mortuary practice, then we have certain qualities that we demand those institutions to have, and our departed have lab care. Finally, the issues of training, and I know you've interacted with our program in the certificate course, and that is well known. Of course, there are always areas of improvement. We welcome your feedback, especially for those of us who go through the course. It's just not enough to say, this is a fantastic course, this is very well taught, Martin was a good teacher, Attilio was a good teacher, and so forth. It's also important to say, these are the points of weakness that we want to see and improve in your course. And welcome those ideas, because we only grow through positive criticism. And so I really value your feedback on the Mortuary Science Certificate program that we mounted for over 10 years, so that we know exactly how to improve this course for your future brothers and sisters.
So I will let us raise our questions before Prof and Dr. can leave, they can respond to them. Equally, any question that needs to be addressed by Madam Sarah, she's still in the house, raise them now.
Of late, with so many youth enrolling with TVETA, upon completion, they have no jobs.
You find that some courses are being sponsored by the government, but why can't even the government also sponsor Mortician as a course?
Most of our members, if not all, are not properly trained. What is the way forward? Can TVETA collaborate with the training institution or with the association to maybe certify through RPPL for the Morticians?
Most of us don't know the entry point to do mortuary science in practice. We want to know the entry point, then the kind of certificate issued or supposed to be issued. Is it crafts or artisan? And of what level?
Yeah, I told you TVETA is basically a quality assurance organization. Before that, before it came into being, all the training was regulated by the ministry itself. There is a department called Department of Technical Education. Even now it is still there. Like they are the ones who provide management services to these institutions. TVETA does not manage the institutions. We assure quality, we register them, but in terms of maybe facilities, trainers, all those are done by the ministry itself. You realize the Mortician courses science, I think currently as we stand here, it's quite a new course, and no TVET institution is offering it, except for the TVET institutions owned by the university.
Hii mafunzo yenye tumefunzwa hapa yote, that virus of trade union movement, not seeing someone to suffer in the world. Free yourself. Once you know what you are doing as a mortician, you can free yourself from oppression of unfair labor practice. Tuko pamoja? And save the rest of the workers.